Hello everyone, today I'm going to be trying out Haidilao Hot Pot for the first time. Haidilao Hot Pot is the biggest hot pot chain in China, and they have many locations throughout the world, and it's always been somewhere I wanted to try, so I decided today was a nice cold day and hot pot is going to be the perfect thing to warm me up. In the past, I've had shabu shabu, which is the Japanese version of a hot pot, but today is going to be the first time I'm trying a Chinese style hot pot, which I'm really looking forward to because they have a lot of other unique ingredients and soup bases that's going to be a lot different. So let's go. I'm pretty hungry. I just made it here to Haidilao and they explained the whole process, which is really cool. They have a sauce bar where you can make your sauces and they charge a couple dollars extra for it, but I think that's pretty fair. And then they also have an iPad system where you can order your soup bases as well as all your toppings. What's really cool is you can order 4 different soup bases. I'm gonna get the spicy Chengdu one. I'm also gonna go for their spicy pork bone broth. And of course I gotta get their signature pork bone soup. And I'm also going to try out their golden soup base, which is a special that's made with pumpkin. And I think once we click this confirm button, it should come out pretty soon. Alright, there we go. Looks like they're just going to bring it to the table, and now we're going to wait for it to boil, and then we'll order some of our other items. They got so many items, but I want to start off with their 8-second bean curd, which looks really tasty. And I'm also going to get Angus beef, so already I'm pretty impressed with the quality of their ingredients. I also love how they have all these different sections, so I'm going to get some signature dishes. I want to get their marinated fish, which is really popular. I also want to try out their boneless duck feet, since I love duck, but I've never had duck feet before. And I got to try out their signature black tripe, because that sounds so interesting. To go along with our meat, I want to order some vegetables. We gotta get some yam. I also want to try out some potatoes. I also want to get some noodles. I'm going to try out their sweet potato noodles. And so far, I think that's pretty good because we have a lot of food. They just brought out our soup bases and they look and smell amazing. They look super bright, and that Chengdu broth looks incredibly spicy, so I'm glad I got some other ones as well. Right here, we got the original pork bone broth, and I know this one's going to be great. Right over here we have their specialty pumpkin broth, which is a special, and I'm pretty curious about that one because I do love myself some pumpkin. If you know me well, I love my spicy food, so this is their spicy pork bone broth, and I think this one will be pretty manageable. It doesn't look too crazy. However, I did want to challenge myself, so I got this Chengdu spicy broth, and this one looks pretty intense. We also got a free appetizer, their spring rolls, which I think is pretty cool since we signed up for the rewards program. So far, this is what we got. We got a pretty hefty order, so I'm just going to go ahead and place our order now. What's super cool is they also have an ice cream machine here, and I know that's going to be a perfect dessert for after some hot pot. This is the sauce bar area, which is super cool. They have a ton of different seasonings, and right on the wall here they have recipes for all different sauces you can make, so I think that's pretty helpful. We got all sorts of different crucial items such as seafood soy sauce, cilantro, diced celery, green onions, chilies, and all sorts of goodness. I just got my sauce and I decided to go for a dry mixture. First I got some green onions, celery, garlic, as well as fried garlic, and I'm just going to add hot pot broth to that because that's what they said to do. They just brought out our hot pot ingredients, and my gosh, we definitely have a lot, so we gotta get cooking soon. I'm going to start off with our appetizer, which is the spring rolls, before we get into cooking everything, and they feel pretty nice and crispy. These are pretty simple spring rolls, but I really like them. And I love the outer shell because it's really nice and satisfyingly crunchy, and it's just filled with a little bit of vegetables. The first item I'm going to be cooking is just their 8-second bean curd skins, and I'm going to try this one in the spicy Chengdu broth that is really strong. And that has been about 8 seconds, so this should be ready to eat. Wow, I love that. I love the fried tofu skin itself so much. It has the perfect, satisfying bite and chew. It really reminds me of tofu skins that my grandma used to put in a traditional Chinese soup, and that broth is so delicious as well. It's really spicy, but it is manageable, and I love the slight tingliness you get on your tongue from the Szechuan peppercorns in there. Because I love that spicy Chengdu broth so much, and there's plenty of it, I'm just gonna add a scoop of that to my dry ingredients for a sauce. I appreciate that they also give us an apron, since I know hot pot can get really messy, and this is definitely gonna help me out. Now I'm gonna be cooking a slice of our Angus beef, which is very thin, so this should just cook in a few seconds. I'm gonna put this one in our spicy pork bone broth. And already, it is definitely cooked. That is a great cut of beef. I really like how it's paper thin. It just melts in your mouth. And I also love all the ripples of fat going through it. And that pork broth is also really nice. It's quite mild, not overly spicy, but it's got a really rich porky flavor to it. But I did give it a little dip in the sauce afterwards that I made with my Chengdu broth. And I really like how that broth goes with all the different toppings in here, like the green onions and garlic. That's a lot of flavor. Now I'm gonna go for their signature marinated black tripe, and I'm gonna put this one in their pumpkin broth. And they said this should only need to cook for about 10 seconds. Let's give our tripe a taste. This should be pretty tasty. I'm actually a really big fan of tripe. I love their tripe. It is ultra fresh. It is really nice and bouncy and chewy. It has a very mild, subtle flavor. And I really do enjoy that pumpkin broth. It's definitely a bit more on the mild side, so you're gonna wanna use some dipping sauce with it, but it definitely has a rich and robust pumpkin flavor. Now I'm gonna move on to their fish, and I'm gonna place this one in their original pork broth, and that'll need to cook for a few minutes. Our fish is done, and it looks really soft and delicate. I'm looking forward to this. I love that. It's just a buttery, soft, delicate fish, and that pork bone broth is really nice. It's very simple, just a porky flavor. So again, you gotta have a dipping sauce. And I mean, this fish is gonna be awesome in my spicy dipping sauce. I just heated up a duck foot. I just cooked this for 10 seconds, so I'm guessing it's pre-cooked already. And I just did this in a spicy broth. Now I'm just gonna go for our potato, which actually took a while to cook, so I'd highly recommend cooking your potatoes at the beginning. And potatoes are seriously the perfect food for hot pot. I cooked that one in the spicy pork bone broth, and it just absorbed all the porky, rich flavor, and it's actually a bit heavy because of all the fat that's in there, but I love it, and it's really nice and spicy. I already love the potatoes so much. I'm gonna devour them. Now I'm also gonna go for a sweet potato noodle. I absolutely adore those sweet potato noodles. Those are another must-try item. They're really nice and bouncy and chewy. They have a bit of a soft gelatinous texture as well, and they're really fun to eat. I made it to our last item, which is the yam. They go really good with any broth because again, they soak it up. And compared to the potatoes, because they're yams, they have a bit of a sweet flavor, which I really like. So that's another awesome item to get. In fact, I think you really can't go wrong with anything. I finished up most of my hot pot, but I couldn't quite finish all of it, so hopefully I'll be able to take it to go. But I decided to go for a little bit of soft serve, because that's gonna be the perfect thing to cool down my stomach after eating all that spicy hot pot. You know, it's not bad. It's just your typical soft serve ice cream. It's really light. It definitely has an airy texture to it, which I like. And there's a very strong vanilla flavor that tastes a little bit artificial, but I kind of like it. Overall, I loved my first time here at Haidilao Hot Pot. I was amazed by all their variety. They have such a large menu. There's so much I haven't even touched. They had side dishes, which I could have tried, but I didn't have room for that either. So I'm definitely gonna be back. I seriously love this place so much. You should all definitely check them out. I'll leave a link to their website in the description down below, and they have so many locations throughout the world. So really, you gotta check and see if there's one relatively in your area, because I'm telling you, it is worth it. Anyways, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.